Your brand has a pulse. Your story has a voice. Does your media reflect your excellence? Welcome to Vibrant's Creative Services. We bridge the gap between imagination and professional reality. From cinematic corporate documentaries and high-fashion photography to precision drone inspections and event live streaming. We bring the gear, the grit, and the vision. Don't just exist in the market. Dominate it. Vibrant's Creative Services. Professionalism amplified. WhatsApp us at 0750 151458.
The worker bee drops from the landing board of the hive, a living mote launched into the cool morning air. Its compound eyes, a mosaic of thousands of individual lenses, register the world in a fragmented, ultraviolet-rich panorama. The hive behind it, a plastered edifice of chewed wood pulp and bee saliva, hangs silent but for the internal thrum of its thousands of inhabitants. The bee's trajectory is not random. It is a line of purpose etched against the vast blue, guided by an internal compass calibrated to the sun's polarization. Ahead, the farm sprawls in a patchwork of green and brown. The bee's target is a swath of white clover blooming in the pasture, a constellation of individual flowers against the deep green of the grass. It descends, its 6 legs splaying to catch a petal. The air is thick with the scent of growth and the dampness of morning dew. Nearby, a massive, blocky shape shifts, a Holstein calf, all knobby knees and a wet black nose. It lowers its head, tearing a mouthful of grass with a sideways twist, the sound of ripping vegetation, a low, grinding noise. Its jaw moves in a rhythmic, lateral mastication, grass stained with saliva disappearing into a cavernous mouth. It pays the bee no mind. The worker bee's focus is absolute. It scrambles over the clover's peak, its proboscis, a long, hairy tongue unfurling to probe the flower's depths. It seeks the nectary, a tiny well at the base of the petals. The proboscis plunges into the sweet liquid, a muscle in the bee's head pumping the offering up into its honey stomach, a separate chamber from its digestive gut. As it drinks, its body brushes against the flower's sexual organs. Pollen, fine as dust and yellow as egg yolk, clings to the branched hairs covering its thorax and legs. It is an unwitting courier. Finished with one flower, it moves to the next, a pattern of instinctual efficiency. The calf has wandered closer, its hooves leaving deep, moist prints in the soft earth. It lies down with a heavy thud, its legs folding beneath it, and begins to chew its cud. A bolus of partially digested grass is regurgitated, and the calf's jaws begin the slow, rhythmic grind once more, its eyes half closed in bovine contentment. The bee works on, a speck of frantic energy at the calf's massive, unmoving flank. The sun climbs, warming the air. The worker bee's abdomen begins to distend, heavy with nectar. Its load complete, it launches from the clover, now a tiny silhouette against the glare. Its navigation is flawless. It flies a direct line back to the hive, a black smear against the weathered wood. Inside, the world is darkness, warmth, and vibration. The bee disgorges the nectar, a clear drop passed from its mouth to the waiting mouth of a younger house bee. The nectar will be passed from bee to bee, enzymes breaking down its complex sugars before being deposited into a wax cell to ripen into honey. The worker bee does not rest. It performs a dance on the vertical face of the comb, a figure-8 pattern that, in the darkness, vibrates the air and communicates the direction and distance of the clover patch to its sisters. The geometry of the hive is immaculate, each hexagonal cell a perfect, shared wall, maximizing space and minimizing wax. It is a city built of equations solved in the dark. The bee then turns and exits once more, rejoining the flow of workers at the entrance. The calf has risen, joining its mother at the edge of the pasture. The cow's muzzle, soft and velvety, nudges the calf towards a fresh patch of grass. The sun continues its arc. The bee descends again to the clover, its shadow passing over the florets. On its legs, a fresh load of pollen, a yellow-orange dusting collected from the anthers of a dozen flowers, clings to the branched hairs. It brushes against a new floret stigma, and a few grains of that collected dust from a different clover plant entirely are deposited. The transaction is complete. The flower is fertilized. The seed for next year's clover is begun. The bee, laden once more with nectar, lifts off, a tiny engine of creation, its flight an invisible stitch connecting the geometry of the hive to the biology of the field.
Your brand has a pulse. Your story has a voice. Does your media reflect your excellence? Welcome to Vibrant's Creative Services. We bridge the gap between imagination and professional reality. From cinematic corporate documentaries and high-fashion photography to precision drone inspections and event live streaming, we bring the gear, the grit, and the vision. Don't just exist in the market. Dominate it. Vibrant's Creative Services. Professionalism amplified. WhatsApp us at 0750 151458.